Hey guys, welcome to the Weekly Wisdom. I'm Dean Graziosi. If you don't know me, if you've been here for years, thanks for joining us week after week. If you're new, it's an honor to have you here. Okay, today, this is part 1 of 2. I want to talk about something called resistance. I'm reading an incredible book right now called The War of Art. Not the art of war, The War of Art. And I would suggest it to anyone. And, if you've been watching me for years, I talk a lot about this villain that's created inside of us. Well, Sam, I forget Sam's last name right this moment, it escapes me, but the author of The War of Art talks about it as resistance. So I want to share this with you today, that resistance is that thing that happens that makes us procrastinate. It makes us, in today's world, surf the internet instead of working on our passion. It's what makes us say, I really love to do that, but it's a hobby, when it really could be what you do full time and enjoy yourself more. Resistance is that if you ever try to write a book and you sit down and you check your email and your bank accounts and text a few people first because you're not sure if you could make that happen. It's talking about following your dream and quitting that job and trying something new, but you don't. It's that same thing that I call the villain that society has built up inside of us. So society may have done it. Rules and limiting stories that were told to us as kids may have done it, but it lives inside of us. And we're the only ones that can defy it. So this morning, I was literally working out and I had the earphones in and I'm listening to resistance and I got goosebumps a couple times because resistance, if you look at it as a foe, as someone that you have to overcome, somebody that you want to beat, someone you're not going to let win, kind of changes the game a little bit. It's almost like we get to be two different people. When you're passionate about something, let me give you an example. Right now, a couple months ago, I went with Tony Robbins, who's a good friend, and I spoke in China and Japan with him, and I was nervous. I was scared to death. It's a different country. It's a different world. It's a different language. I'm going to be on stage in front of 18,000 people. Tony doesn't put many people on his stage. I love the guy. I want to deliver to him. I was a nervous wreck. And when I look back at it now, it's because there was resistance, and that resistance is good. When you're nervous, that's good. When you do the same thing over and over, what do you get? You get bored. It's why you don't like your job. It's why things get mundane. It's because you're not fighting that resistance. Now, I'm sharing this with you today, and I'm getting on a plane right now. I mean, when I'm done here, getting on a plane and going to Australia to speak on stage again with Tony. Now, I'm a little nervous because it's different and I got to adapt, but that resistance is, I could go, no, it's different. But no, it's actually exciting. And here's the thing that I think we all, and if you're watching me for years, I talk about this stuff in different ways. But when we overcome resistance and we try something, when we realize that whether it fails or succeeds, we succeed. Because sometimes, do you know anybody, maybe yourself, that talks about, I'm going to write this book, and when I do, it's going to do this and this and this, but you talk about it so much that you talk all the way through the success, but you also talk your way in, what if it fails? What if I look like a loser? What if I write my first book and no one buys it? What if it doesn't get published? Or what if I start that new company and I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough? So resistance starts telling you all these stories, and it's easier to just talk about what you're going to do because the failure, the resistance is winning. Remember, look at it like a foe. Look at it like an enemy and go, I hear you, Mr. Resistance, but you're not winning. Because here's the deal. If I write that book, start that company, start the exercise routine, start the better relationship with my family, my friends, my children, if I fail, at least I'm in the game and you didn't win. So this week, I would like you to try as many new things as you can. Forget the hobby of the things you like. What if that's your real path in life? What if it's not your hobby? It's who you're supposed to be. And if Mr. Resistance is getting in the way, I'd like you to look at it this week, but look at it as something different. Make it a physical thing. Make it a character. I don't care. Make it Mickey Mouse. But look at resistance as the enemy it is, and do not let it win. And when you look at it that way, it's so transforming. Literally, when I was listening to that book this morning, I have my own thoughts, my own practices, but I got goosebumps. I'm like, I'm not nervous about Australia. I have resistance fighting me. I'm excited about it, but it's new. It's going to sharpen my skills. And I was like, come on, I can't wait to get there. Put me in front of those thousands of people and let me help transform their life, because that's my ability, and Mr. Resistance is not going to get in the way. How can you do that in your life this week? I'm Dean Graziosi. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new to this site, grab my free book. If you're at deangraziosi.com, get my free book right up here. You can get Totally Fulfilled, exactly my first New York Times bestseller, a personal development book, or 30 Days to Real Estate Cash, my latest real estate book. In fact, you get both of them for free if you're watching on iTunes or you're watching on YouTube. Go to deansfreebook.com. That's deansfreebook.com. Take care.